Happy Monday. How'd we get here so fast? Monday. And it's already halfway through May, and it's busy, and there's graduations and parties and Mother's Day and all the things May is full of. And tonight we may be full of tornadoes, is what they keep saying, so who knows. Yesterday, Brother Mark did an amazing message on grace. I have my notepad. I take notes every Sunday because I have since I started going to church. It just helps me to think about and be able to go back and look at it. He talked about grace. And I want to talk about a little bit something that society tries to, I'm sorry, my table is full. I've been working on senior bags. My table's full. But I wanted to talk about something that the world tries to throw at us. The world just tries to throw it at us all the time. You should be ashamed. Shame on you. Shame this. Shame they. The world wants to shame us into submission a lot of times. But I want to read some verses in the Bible that talk about shame. And if you believe in Jesus, then these verses are for you. And if you're living in shame, these verses are for you. The first one is in Romans 8, verse 1. And it says, "So now there is no condemnation. And that's what the world's trying to do to you. They're trying to condemn you. Oh, you did that. Oh, you said that. I may have done it too, but when I did it, it wasn't bad. But you should be ashamed of what you did, of how you hurt people, or whatever it may be. I can do it. Just don't do it, because to me that's just going to be awful. So now there is no condemnation for those who belong in Christ Jesus. There's no condemnation. Zero condemnation. Understand that. Hear that. Know that. There is zero condemnation. In Isaiah 54. Fear not, which he tells us often in the Bible, not to fear. Don't be afraid. I am with you. Do not fear. I am with you. Do not fear. I am the Lord. Do not fear. Fear not. You will no longer live in shame. The shame of your youth and the sorrows of widowhood will be remembered no more. You don't have to live in that. You don't have to live in that shame of your youth, or you don't have to live in the shame of yesterday. You don't have to live in the shame of that. You give it to Jesus and it's gone. You don't have to live in that shame. The world wants you to. The person that absolutely despises you and is looking for a reason to punch you in the gut wants you to. But you don't have to live in that. In Hebrews, I tried to mark all of them, but in Hebrews 12:2 it says, we do this by keeping our eyes on Jesus, on whom our faith depends from start to finish. He was willing to die a shameful death on the cross because of the joy he knew would be his afterwards. He died a shameful death, so we didn't have to. So we don't have to live in that. We do not have to live in the shame that our society tries to put on us. Oh, you got a divorce. That's bad. So bad. Oh, your daughter had a baby out of wedlock. Oh, that's so bad. You should be ashamed. Society tries to put those labels on us. That label of shame. You got fired from a job. You should be ashamed. You can't find a job. You should be ashamed. Why didn't somebody want to hire you? Oh, you should be ashamed. Jesus died a shameful death on a cross, so we don't have to live in that. The enemy is trying to keep us there. The enemy is trying to make us think that that's where we belong. The enemy is trying to do all of those things. But we don't have to live there. We don't have to stay there. In Isaiah 61:7, bottom of the other page. 61:7. Instead of shame and dishonor, you will inherit a double portion of prosperity and everlasting joy. You ever think about that? Instead of shame and dishonor, you're going to inherit a double portion of prosperity. Did you ever think about that? We don't think of it like that. We think, oh, I've done this, I said this, I hurt that person, I didn't mean to hurt that person. Oh, Lord, how am I, can you forgive me for that? And the Lord's like, what are you talking about? We already talked about that a long time ago. We don't need to talk about it again. You already laid that under my blood. You don't need to do that again. Unless you keep doing it over and over and over again. If you hear voices, there is somebody here looking at the sound system. So if you hear voices, that's what it is. Or if you hear noises, because they're above me in the sound system or sound booth. So if that's what you hear, that's what it is. And then in Psalm 34:5, it says, those who look to him for help will be radiant with joy. No shadow of shame will darken their faces. Right there it tells us, look to him for help and your face will radiate joy. No shadow of shame will darken your face. That's all it takes. Look to him. Look to him. Look to the one who loves you. Look to the one who saved you. Look to the one, and quit looking at what that person says. Or quit listening to what that person says. Or quit paying attention to what that person says. Or just walk away. Whatever it takes. Sometimes we just have to walk away. Because people will do things intentionally to try to make us feel shameful. We don't have to. All of those verses, and Brother Mark talked about the grace yesterday. We underestimate God's grace. That was one thing that really stood out to me. It's the first thing I wrote down. We underestimate his grace. His grace is sufficient for everything, for whatever we have done, for anything that we have done. His grace is sufficient for me. For me. No matter what. For me. I take it to him. I ask him for forgiveness and his grace. It meets me new. Every single time. So don't let somebody else or something that you've done in your past keep letting you have that shame written all over you. You don't have to. You do not have to live in that shame. Give it to Jesus, let it go, and be thankful that he's willing to take it. Because he died a shameful death, so we don't have to. We don't have to live in that. Know that his grace is sufficient for you. And he loves you. He wants a relationship with you. All he wants you to do is just say, help Jesus. And that's all you have to do. Help Jesus. This is too heavy to carry, Lord. I can't do it anymore. And he says, lay it down, my child, and let me have it. But we have to leave it there. That's the hardest part for me. Leaving it there. Lay it at the altar and walk away. And know that you're doing the best that you can do. And you don't have to live in that shame any longer. I hope you guys have a great, great Monday evening. Be sure and be weather aware. Everything that I saw or I've seen, it's from like 8 to midnight for us as it comes across. 8 to midnight. But you know how Oklahoma weather is. It may be 4 o'clock. It may be in a couple hours or an hour. We don't know. Just be weather aware. Have all your supplies ready. And don't hesitate to take cover. I hope you guys have a great evening. I will be back here tomorrow.